I hope everyone enjoys my Hogwarts Harry Potter shirt. I'm a Ravenclaw. How about you guys? List your Harry Potter houses down below. Hey guys, it's Erin and welcome back to my channel. So some of you may know that I've been doing this little mini series where I just do dumb things with my pets while I'm stuck in quarantine due to this coronavirus outbreak. So far I have played tic-tac-toe with my pets, I pranked my cats, I let Pongo take me on a walk, and I painted with my pets. And so today I am going to be making my own DIY calcium powder out of eggs, and only eggs. I thought that this would be a perfect video to make while I'm in quarantine just because eggs were something that I already had, and I thought it would be perfect to teach people how to make their own calcium powder in case that you run out at home and you don't want to go out in public to buy more. So I'm going to be showing you step by step on how to make your own DIY calcium powder. I personally have never done this before, so I'm hoping it turns out. If not, good thing I have more calcium powder in my reptile room. For those of you who do not know, calcium powder that you buy just at the store is mostly made up of calcium carbonate, which is also what eggshells are made out of. Eggshells are an excellent source of calcium. My dog Pongo is raw fed, which I am going to be making a video about that here shortly. What I do when I raw feed him is I give him a raw egg and then I crumble up the eggshell and give that to him as extra calcium. Usually you don't have to crumble up the egg, but Pongo is super picky and he does not like eating the eggshell, so I crumble it up really small. So I'm really hoping that this powder is an alternative to having to do that, because it'd be so much easier if I could just give him a small scoop of the powder on top of his food rather than having to crumble up the eggshell super small. And also, of course, I can use the calcium powder with my reptiles as well. So what you're gonna need to start off with is some eggs. I have been collecting, I actually have 2 containers of eggs, of about 2 dozen, more or less eggs that I have been saving for this video. And so I'm gonna be teaching you how to prep, cook, and grind these eggs down to calcium powder. Before we get started, if you could thumbs up this video and hit that subscribe down below, I would really appreciate it. And without further ado, let's make some calcium powder. Okay, so like I said before, first thing you're gonna need is some eggs. I have a couple packages of eggs that I've been saving up. Like I said, more or less about 2 dozen, probably closer to 19 or 20 eggs, all in here. Now, if you are using regular white eggs, your calcium powder is going to come out more of the white color that you're used to. If you are using brown eggs like I am, your calcium powder is probably going to have a tan or brownish tint. That is okay. It does not matter what kind of eggs you have. All that's going to make a difference is the calcium powder might come out a slightly different color. I have some free-range organic chicken eggs. I actually really like this company here because they explain to you the different types of eggs. So the regular eggs that you buy in the store, usually probably the cheaper ones, are going to be chickens that spend their whole life in cages. The eggs that you buy that are labeled cage-free are still inside. They cannot go outside. Standard free-range eggs are in a slightly larger pen, but still only have about 2 square feet per chicken. And then this company here, which is 100% free-range, pasture-range eggs, are on over 8 acres of pasture. So I really like that. These eggs are more expensive. I think these are usually about $4 or $5 a dozen. But my personal opinion, I would rather buy ethically sourced eggs with happier, healthier chickens rather than saving a few dollars for eggs that come from chickens that live their entire lives in cages. But this has nothing to do with the video. I'm just stating my opinion, I guess. Okay, so first step after you have your eggs is you are going to boil some water. So I'm gonna set this on high, and then you are going to preheat your oven to about 300 degrees. Sorry guys, it's actually supposed to be 200 degrees. So we're gonna turn this way down. So first of all, we are going to boil our eggs, and the reason we do this is because it's gonna kill off any nasty germs that could be on the eggs. It's also going to get any extra yolk or crap out that shouldn't be there, because we really just want the shell and membrane. So boiling it will help get rid of that stuff as well. Also, I'm going to, beforehand, while I'm waiting for the water to boil, I'm gonna peel out this like membrane and extra yolk that's still stuck in there. I don't know if it's 100% necessary. Some places were saying yes, some places were saying no, but I'm gonna do it in either way. That's not coming out. I'm gonna do it anyways, just in case. That way we are just left with the egg. But like I said, boiling it is also going to help get all that extra gunk out of there and clean out the egg. So I'm just peeling out that little stuff where you can see the white. All right, so our water has started to boil. I'm gonna turn this down a little bit. And then we're gonna drop each egg in there and let them boil for about 5 to 10 minutes. I have these little tongs, so I'm gonna use that to kind of sink them down so they don't just float at the top. Hopefully the boiling water breaks some of these apart, because some of them are stuck together and they won't come apart without breaking the whole egg. All right, I'm just gonna let those sit for about 5 to 10 minutes. Okay, I'm gonna use my tongs, make sure all the water is out of all of them, and then I'm gonna lay them on my little baking tray, face up. Or face down. I don't know what you would call it. I'm just gonna put it so that the white part is sitting up. I'm happy to say that the boiling did make these break apart easier. Of course, it's not working now. It smells exactly like hard-boiled eggs, which I guess should have been like an obvious to me, but I didn't really think about it. It reminds me when you hard-boil eggs for Easter, and then you dye them, which is actually perfect timing because this weekend is Easter. Not that any of us can really do anything, because we're all under quarantine. Okay, so I have all of my eggs laid out, and look how foamy the water still is. I'm guessing that's from the yolk or like extra membrane that was still left over, but if I'm wrong, someone could correct me in the comment section down below. That's crazy how foamy it got. I had to kind of rinse a couple of them off because they had that foam all over them. But what we're gonna do now is we're gonna stick them in the oven for about 20 minutes. Now, I do want to mention that the reason we are putting them in the oven is because we want the eggshells to dry out and get nice and crispy. That way we can grind them down into a powder. Okay, so the eggshells are cooling down now. I just have my husband's coffee grinder. I cleaned it out super well. That way I can make sure that I got all of the coffee grinds out. And we are gonna use this to grind down our eggshells. Now, you can use any sort of grinder or food processor or whatever you have, whatever will work to grind it down. This is just what I have and what I'm gonna be using. Oh my God, it's actually breaking like glass. It's crazy how like brittle they are. Watch this. They just absolutely crumble and deteriorate. I've never seen eggshells this fragile before. Okay, I'm just gonna start off with that and see how it turns out, and then I'll finish the rest of the eggshells. That was like probably a third of the shells, but I'll finish off with the rest of them afterwards once I see how this turns out. Not super fine, so we're gonna keep going. It's like making a mess. Look at that. Do I not have, I think I have the lid on all the way. Ooh, now that is fine. Sorry, it's like all dusty. That is super fine. It stinks so bad, you guys, so bad. I'm gonna get a bowl to put this in, and then I'm going to do the rest of the eggshells. Ooh, look at that. My husband's gonna be like, what did you do to my coffee grinder? Okay, so here's the final product. I'm super happy with how it turned out. It's super fine. It's not quite as fine as real calcium powder, like from a store, but it is super fine. Like it's still like super powdery. I don't know if you can tell, like it's sticking to my fingers. So it is still super, super fine. It'll stick to food and bugs perfectly. And I'm gonna actually go try it out right now.